Welcome, everyone. I'm your host today, Michelle Oliver, and I'm here with Gio Bellis of Bellis and Wachowski for Business, Blues, Bourbon, and Bellis. Welcome, Gio.
Good afternoon. You caught me at a good time. It's
Yes, tell me
it's
about your good
after it's
time.
after 5 o'clock.
It's after 5 o'clock. Does that mean you are drinking bourbon?
It means I'm drinking bourbon, and in the background I have a little blues going from
Ah,
Buddy Guy.
buddy
Buddy
guy.
Guy, Buddy Guy singing, "Damn right I got the blues." Buddy Guy is still
Chicago.
alive. He's in his upper 80s, and I don't know. I think on occasion he still does perform. He's got this bar in town called Legends, and
Wow.
he frequently plays there. But it's one of the best blues clubs, I think, in the country. And he is probably one of the best guitarists ever. At least even his fellow guitarists say so. But to enjoy the day even more, I poured myself just a little touch of old Rip Van Winkle bourbon.
Oh
10
my.
year old, 10-year old. Somebody made a gift of this to me. Very lovely little bottle of bourbon.
Ah.
And I'm just enjoying little sips of it. Don't want to ruin it. But we're also here to talk a little business, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Let's talk biz.
All right. How about what do you consider or what should you consider when you're starting a business? Um, People overlook a lot of things. We spend a lot of time helping businesses get organized. We help them incorporate or start an LLC or limited partnership, whatever the appropriate venue or mechanism might be to start their business.
Mhm.
But we have a lot of people come in here and they say they want to start a business and they're not ready to accept the serious risks that go with that. So we try to take them through what they have to prepare for, and we try to screen them to see if they really are someone who can start a business. One
Really
of the first
smart.
questions we have to ask, I'm sorry to cut you off, Michelle.
No, I said that's really smart to do that. It helps them as well. So this is
Well,
the first question you ask.
one of the first questions is, what is it going to cost to start the business? Frequently, we have people come in, they haven't even considered what the investment's going to be in their business. If they have enough capital for their business, they have no business plan, nothing. And they just said, I'm going to start a business.
Mm.
And during the COVID, especially everybody was starting a business out of their backyard or back porch.
Yeah.
So we have to ask them, and we do, how are they going to raise the funds to start their business? And then we analyze that. Some of them think they're going to go to the bank and borrow money for their business, and they have no idea what that's going to entail. Um, More sophisticated people come in here and say that they're already have preliminary discussions for an SBA loan, which is good. Or they've made arrangements with a family member to loan them money, but we frequently then have to discuss how they're going to capitalize the business, whether that's going to be a loan or it's going to be capitalized in their accounts. But these are things that we talk to our clients about. And this is a big question. How many people are going to be in the company? How many owners? Because that kind of determines the form of ownership. And more importantly, we insist if there's more than one owner that there's a shareholders agreement for a corporation or an operating agreement for a limited liability company. But either
Mhm.
way, there must be an agreement between the parties as to how to run the business, what happens if they can't agree. Um, we have provisions in there that keep them out of court, force mediation. And there's all kinds of ways to do that. But these are the things that we put into the agreement. Then, one of the things we talk about is we just touched on this a little bit. What form of business should it be? Should it be a corporation, an LLC, maybe a limited partnership? And that could get very complicated. We've set up businesses that have very sophisticated different levels of ownership. But it depends on the nature of the business, the investments, and where the money is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And the business name. People don't think about this. They just think they're going to call it Bill's Company. Okay. But one of the things that they have to begin doing right away is when they come to our office and they tell us their name, we talk to them about the name, and we actually do a search on Google to start the process.
Mm-hmm.
And then we check with the Illinois Secretary of State if it's an Illinois company to see if there's other businesses with the same name. But the big thing that they don't consider is the website. Can they get a website domain that matches the name of their company? That really is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things we urge them to do right away is to go reserve a name and make sure that they have that name set up and that the name is available with the Secretary of State. And if it's a little more complicated, we urge them to go to the U.S. Trademark Office and see if the proposed name violates another trademark. All these
Yes.
things we have to consider in looking at a name. Then there's restrictive covenants. Starts out between the partners,
Mm-hmm.
starts with employees, but we have to make sure that there's protection for the trade secrets of the company. Customer lists could be trade secrets, but these are things that we have to look at, and we help the clients decide what they need to do to protect their trade secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And licenses. I'll tell you something that people don't really consider sometimes. They live in a condo or a townhouse that's in an association. There may be rules that prohibit them from operating a business out of their condo or townhouse. People don't always think about that. But what's required? If you're operating type of medical business, you have to have a certain type of license. For example, lawyers. You can't open a law business unless you're a licensed lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know
Right.
that,
I'm glad to know that.
Michelle?
Yeah, it's an essential piece of credibility.
Yeah, and then people start businesses and they don't even think about the fact that, well, they're starting a business that competes with their current employer. So is there a problem there? Or they hire somebody and they should find out if that employee's prior employer has any restrictions on their employment with a competitor or any similar business. Here's the thing that we kind of beat up people about. It's not just a trusted relationship with a lawyer. You have to have a solid, trusted advisor relationship with actually four entities, four people. You need one with a banker. And I'm not talking about a big bank.
Yeah.
With small businesses, I always recommend a relationship with a small local bank, somebody that recognizes you, might understand the local things you're dealing with. But the big banks really don't do you any solids.
Yeah.
Number two, you need an accountant. And I'm not talking about a bookkeeper, down the street bookkeeper that just does your books. I'm talking a real CPA, somebody who is more than just an accountant, is somebody that can offer you some solid business advice, perhaps even some investment advice.
Mm-hmm.
The third thing is an insurance agent. And I'm not talking somebody who just represents one company. A good, solid business insurance broker can do a lot of things for you, help you find insurance for your particular business needs. And the last thing is you should have a strong relationship with a lawyer that is familiar with your business, that you could call up on the quick and say, I have this issue, what do I do? And usually if the lawyer knows your business, he could give you a real quick answer and probably save you a lot of time and money going down the road. I know here in our practice, we have what we call the corporate maintenance plan. We um, we put the clients on a small retainer, and I mean a relatively small retainer. We serve as their registered agents. We handle their annual filings, and we give the clients unlimited telephone access to us, so we could answer questions. And a lot of the questions are kind of silly. They say, I got a letter from the Department of Revenue, and it says this. Sometimes you could just tell them, just throw it away. It's just nothing. Or they get solicitations and it looks like it's an official letter. We just give them some quick advice, just ignore it, throw it away. But it's the whole idea is to avoid problems before they begin. So with that, my little lecture is over with. But of course, we're always open for questions, especially from you, Michelle.
Wonderful. Well, I love that you have your phone number up here direct and anyone can call, because starting a business is an overwhelming project. And I know that there are a lot of things that you don't know what you don't know, right, George? And it's important for people to have an advisor like you that can guide them through this.
Exactly. So it's always nice talking to you, Michelle.
You too. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing this bourbon and blues advice. I'm eager to listen to some of that blues and maybe even try that bourbon.
And just remember, damn right I got the blues.
That's right. Thank you, George.
Bye.